Is LDV MIFA or MIFA, I think MIFA, a nice van, and should you consider it as a people mover for your family, or perhaps to build out as a camper van or any other use case that you have in mind? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Dimitri. This is Value Cars Australia, and today I'm sitting in this lovely LDV MIFA. Yeah, it's a bottom of the range model, whatever the name of the model is. I have spent a little bit of time with it today. It was given to me very kindly for a test drive by my friends at 5 Dock LDV in Sydney here. I think the best placed, if you are in Sydney area and kind of central Sydney area, the best placed dealership with lovely people inside. I bought my LDV D90 from them a couple of years ago to prove to you that I'm a private owner who has dealt with the dealership before. Before we keep going and talking about LDV MIFA today, I'd like to thank once again Into the AM, the sponsors of this video and providers of these awesome graphic t-shirts that I'm wearing very gratefully, and I encourage you to consider buying with a discount of 10% using my code and my link in the description of the video if you would like to support the channel, first thing, and get yourself a few cool things, not to look like a bland dude or a lady. Why not get yourself something cool and ride very nicely in MIFA or in some other vehicle of your choosing? Thank you very much to our sponsors. So I'm not a van owner or a van driver yet, but as you can see, first of all, I think it's only fair to talk about vans a little bit because it's Value Cars Australia and we use cars for different purposes, both people moving and cargo moving purposes. So are they value? Is LDV actually value? It is that tricky kind of topic again coming up of value in terms of the lower cost potentially that you spend up front versus how much you're getting for your money, and the longevity of the vehicle, the depreciation, the other kind of things. I never shy away from those topics. We're going to talk about all of this. So this LDV MIFA is an evolution of their people movers. Previously, I think they had the G10 and G10 Executive People Mover van available, but it was, I'm talking, so cargo vans are still available, the G10s, but the G10 People Mover was something that I presume LDV was offering the larger families and people who need to move larger numbers of people around town at a lower price range, kind of lower price bracket. So this thing is kind of climbing closer to $50,000. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I will correct myself here, up here on the screen, but I think it's around 47,000 that you can get your hands on this lovely vehicle in the bottom of the range. What does it give you? Well, it's a very interestingly redesigned frontal panel and the dash and how the car drives. Even though it's not a hybrid, it's not an electric vehicle. Things such as basically there is no start-stop button, for example. You just have the key in your pocket, you just get into the car, it detects it, it's ready to drive. You simply need to electronically release the handbrake and press the, press the accelerator and off you go. It kind of is, it's a very interesting amalgamation of this futuristic technology of the car being smart enough to know that you're in it and offering you everything at the touch of a pedal or a button without you having to turn the keys, even pressing the buttons anymore, what used to be considered to be, keyless kind of thing. Well, this is truly keyless in this case. Materials are reasonably nice, but upon closer examination, if I go closer with the camera kind of looking at elements of this, it is still LDV's sort of almost, they don't shy away from it. I'm gonna say it's cheaper in the assembly as far as the creature's comforts are concerned. It gives you everything you need. It's not creaking, it's okay, but at the same time, when you look closer, it's plastic, elements of it, a lot of elements are plastic. Where there is leather, it's kind of leatherette, it's faux leather, yeah. It's okay. Only time can tell in these cases how long this will last. Will it start creaking? Will this leather wear out faster than perhaps in some other brands? I don't know. I really don't want to speculate, because in this case it would just be unkind to the vehicle and to the brand if I speculate without having owned it even over a year and stuff. I owned my LDV D90 for a few months and it was great, nothing was wrong with it. The combination of how much they tried to put in and how much space they gave you inside, how much this gives you, versus the quality versus the cheapness of some of the materials is probably, by my initial opinion, I think it is within the reasonable range. As far as how it drives, it has enough power, it drives quite nicely. I jumped straight into it and wanted to just experience it without looking in detail at the specs, which is why I'm not verbally telling them to you, but I am going to put the essential specs, most important ones, over here about the engine and that kind of stuff about this particular vehicle that I'm driving, so that you can compare. I quite like this whole central panel. In terms of the usability, it's right there under my, you can see my sort of elbow resting on this central barn door storage unit. The storage unit is massive, glove box is ginormous. There are places to put your cups, even, and little bottles, although I'd say these ones on the top here, these ones are rather small, so only smaller cups and smaller bottles will go in, but there are massive amounts of storage in the doors. There is a massive shelf for everything imaginable underneath here, because this is all drive-by-wire, obviously, with all this plentiful electronics over here. How it drives like a van, even though I'm saying it is a non-van driver, but this is how I would imagine a van to drive. It's a large, big vehicle. It's not a box on wheels. It doesn't feel like a box on wheels, but it does feel to me, as you see even where I placed the camera today, it does feel like it's large, vast. It feels like it's good. I don't know, I'm gonna speculate and say 10-15 centimeters wider than a normal car feels like. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it should feel like. It's a van. It's a people mover or a massive camper that you decked out or whatever you've done to it. There is enough power. There seems to be enough power, although I wasn't speeding and I wasn't on a highway, so perhaps maybe at some other point in time, if there is interest, I'm gonna have a more in-depth look at it. This is just first impressions, as you can imagine. There is a metric ton of space at the back. Again, we're not measuring liters here and volumes and stuff. This is your homework. You can do that for yourself. For me, I'm just looking at it. If I had 7 people plus to fit in here, I could. It's a 7-seater, technically speaking, yeah, with all this space, with all these commander seats. Everything is manually adjustable. All seats, everything is manually adjustable. The tailgate is not lifting itself automatically, for example. The side doors are not opening automatically. You have to do it all by hand in this bottom of the range model, which I, again, will double check. I think it's 47 grand. Money still talks, my friends. Money still talks. And people, rightly or wrongly, I'm not judging here, because I'm as flawed as every other man out there. We would rather pay a lot less is a keyword, not a little bit, but a lot less upfront, than think about depreciation, losing a lot of money on resale and stuff. That obviously applies to smarter people who are planning to buy something like this, or a cargo van, or a ute from LDV, and keep it for over 5 years, I'd say. If you're planning to get these vehicles for business or for your family and keep them over 5 years and beyond, yeah, well, these vehicles come with 7-year warranty, so, you know, whichever way you go, you can speculate about the fact that LDV is not too keen as a brand, at least not known to be too keen to support you with every little complaint and every little problem you might have with the vehicle. They're not known to be. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying they're not known to be in Australia just yet. However, the vehicles are probably solid enough. There are so many of them now on the road, and the entry price is so low. I'm not talking about these, because 47 is pushing it, yeah, but those tradie vans and other kind of stuff, they're so low that it's very hard to deny them the value that clearly a lot of these tradies, a lot of these people are seeing in these vehicles. I know this kind of takes us away from MIFA and further into LDV as a brand, but I think even providing the early review of MIFA, and there's only so much I can say about it after taking it for a quick test drive, I think that we need to talk about the brand. We need to talk about the main deterrent, if there is any in your consideration or my consideration, to buy this or buy something else. Because it is only the concern about the brand. It is only the concern about, will this start falling apart in 5 years, and what will LDV do about it, even if I still have a couple of years out of 7-year warranty remaining on my warranty. That would be the main question for you. Because the rest of it is nice. It's a nice, awesome van. It drives great. You feel like you're driving in a house on wheels. I like it. I really, really like it. I really, really am a big fan. But at the same time, I don't have very immediate need to get a van, but as you can see, I'm exploring right now, starting to explore both for the interest of my channel content and for my own personal family use, of if I was to get a van of sorts for my needs of primarily, as you know, as my subscribers, camping. Would I get this? Would I get a G10 cargo van from LDV? Very cost effective, can be decked out nicely, less creatures comforts, but who cares, because everything would be, creatures comforts would be at the back there, you know. Are you looking at MIFA? Are you considering this? Do you think that 47-ish grand for a bottom of the range, nice enough but rudimentary, let's call it, modern but rudimentary, aesthetic van, a people mover, is good enough? Is it good enough? Is it value? I would say I am leaning towards, if there was a meter, Dimitri's meter, here is a no and here is a yes, like very much yes. I'm leaning here. I'm leaning towards yes. I'm not very strongly in favor of it, simply because 47 grand is 47 grand and everything is manual in here, let's not forget that. But it's nice enough, and I think it's leaning towards yes, it's value. But I welcome your opinions, I welcome your thoughts, and most importantly, if you're an LDV owner, especially LDV owner, proven LDV owner, give me facts, okay? Don't just trash the brand. I never welcome that kind of stuff on my channel. But give me realistic opinion on owning an LDV. Maybe you're an owner of G10. Maybe you own the people mover G10 now for a few years, presumably. So these are the particular, I welcome all comments, but these are the particular ones that I welcome. I hope you've enjoyed this very early on. I know I haven't shown you terribly much, but I've given you early impressions of LDV MIFA. They are generally positive, they are largely positive, and once again, thank you to my friends at LDV 5Doc for providing this vehicle for a test drive. Visit them and check the vehicle out for yourself, and let me know again in the comments down below, would you buy this? And if you wouldn't buy this, within the same price range, 47, what would you buy? That is question to you right now. Go and answer it and share any other thoughts in the comments below. My friends, thank you very much to our sponsors. Thank you very much to you for supporting the channel by your views, buying stuff and other kind of stuff, if it fits you and your needs, of course. And I'll talk to you next time about LDV, GWM, everything else Value Cars Australia related in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.